Life is all about the gray area undefined. Life is filled with parallels. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can choose to live your life out loud, or you can choose the in between or the middle of the road. Inside the gray area, that's where life happens. Welcome to Inside the Gray Area, sponsored by McGregor.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin, and I'm a marketing communication intern here at McGregor. And I will be here all of summer 2024 to gain some social media experience, some web content experience, and now I'm gaining some podcast experience, which is amazing. And today we're here with Brandon. Brandon, do you want to explain your role?
Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon. I'm the summer 2024 social services intern. I work with Erica on assessments and just like checking in on residents' appointments, just making sure the residents are good and accounted for.
So I know I chose McGregor because I really love the nonprofit organizations and what they stand for, but I'm curious as to why you decided to do your internship at McGregor.
That's a really good question. So, one of my friends who I go to school with at Case Western, she told me about this internship that she had over the summer. And so I thought I would apply. And since she has such great things to say, I thought, why not give it a chance? So, here we are.
Okay, all right. Were there any values that stuck out to you when you applied?
Hmm. Just I like how everyone on the team is like a family, and Erica does a great job of, making sure I understand things, explaining terms, just slowing things down so I, get a better grasp of what I'm learning here. What about you?
I really love how everyone is very inclusive here. It's not one man is on his own. Everybody is here to help each other. I mean, even the employees, the staff, the
Mm,
residents. It's so nice walking around campus and being able to hold a conversation with absolutely anyone I run into. And I think that's really what makes McGregor a community and it makes it an enjoyable place to work.
I agree.
Yeah. So what are some big projects you've been working on this summer?
So I worked on my first audit yesterday. We have to give trauma-informed assessments to the residents here so we could better give them care. So I made an audit of all the residents on all three floors who have it and who do not have it. So right now I'm working on, for those that don't have it, completing it for, them. What about you?
Well, how long does something like that usually take?
An audit?
Yeah.
It took a day.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Right now, I've been working on the podcast. I've also been working on um, kind of highlighting our grantees and trying to highlight what they do. So when people click on McGregor's page, they see all these other nonprofit organizations and how wonderful they are for the community. I've also been working on a lot of web content. So I work on a
Mm.
lot of articles. I try to find things that are really interesting to pretty much everyone. I think that's the point of McGregor. It's not just focusing on the seniors, but it's also focusing on their family, their friends, their grandchildren, their great grandchildren. I mean, it's a whole community that brings everyone together.
That's a really great way to put it because that's what I also noticed that, we go higher than the residents. We make sure their family's okay. We make sure they're, you know, taken care of. And it's very much a community and lean on each other in the different departments, which I appreciate. No department is, I can't do this, but I'll try to help.
And I feel like your area of work is much more focused on all of those connections with family members and everything.
Yeah, I had to call a couple family members just to, schedule care conferences or just, inform them about their family members' care. And a lot of them have been very thankful that I've called just, for keeping them updated. They feel very informed, which is a great way, for them to be on top of the care that we are providing.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see a lot of the events here at McGregor, like the Father's Day car show. That was really
That
cool.
was very cool.
Yeah, to see everyone just come together for Father's Day. It was cool to see the dads too, just hanging out, being dads,
Mm.
enjoying their hot dogs and burgers. So that was a lot of fun to be a part of and see the whole
Did
community.
you have a favorite car that you saw?
I don't know cars super well, so I'm like the wrong person to ask about
That's
that.
okay. I saw a lot of Corvettes, which was very cool.
I know my dad told me that I should have let him know that there was a car show because he has my brother's Corvette right now. He's like, I
Uh,
would have driven it over.
that would have been so
I
cool.
know, I know. Is there anything that you think has impacted you for the future working here at McGregor?
Hmm. That's a good question. And it makes me think because a lot of what I'm learning at Case is kind of associated with what I'm doing here, mostly assessments and, how to communicate with people. But I really like the empathy that I've learned here and how to talk to family members and just residents here. I think that's something that, I'll bring with me for the future. Um, just good traits to have for when you're like a social work profession.
Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes you can be a little bit on the other side of it, and I'm always like the fun, hey, I'm the girl in marketing. um, but it is really fun to communicate with everyone and just hear their stories. I love talking to all the residents and just hearing what they did with their lives. I mean, it's impactful to me to hear that.
Do you have any marketing stories that really stood out for you? Just like, bringing in a family or anything?
So I'm not in the process of bringing in any families, but I really did enjoy PBS coming here
Mm.
and being able to show around campus and all the other residents. Some of the residents were really, really excited PBS was here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we stopped by Pace and they were having a bunch of activities, and some of the residents were, trying to get in front of the camera and
Mm.
just show that it's a fun time here. So that was a lot of fun.
Do we
And
know when that airs?
I have no idea when that
We'll let
airs.
you know.
Yeah, we'll let you know. Yeah, so what are your plans for the future then
That's
after
a good
this?
question. So I only have one more year of school left. My main goal is, and then I do another internship at Metro for like my final school internship. And I think I really want to be a therapist. I think that I really have a way with connecting with people and just, I really love this population. So I would love to do like a widow support group or just something along those lines of just helping people process grief or just talking to someone because this is definitely an underrepresented population, so I want to make sure that obviously they are taken care of and have someone to talk to, and so hopefully I can be that buffer for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Why did you decide to go into the therapist realm after doing work like this?
Okay, so at Case, I took a lot of direct and family practice classes, and I really enjoyed learning about the different types of therapy and the different types of, ways to interact with families and ways to talk to people. And I've been sneaking it into this interview too, but
Mm-hmm.
just acknowledgement and just making people feel heard and seen is just like big for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
about you?
I am looking into going into public relations. It's a little tough in the Cleveland area. I do want to
Mm,
stay in the Cleveland area.
I hope so. I
I
can see
know.
you
I
more.
know. But if I don't get into public relations, I would love to find a marketing position somewhere. I really love content writing. I get to dive into my creativity, which is something I love to do. I've
Mm,
been doing poetry for 5 years now. I've been writing short stories. I'm working on publishing some of my work.
excellent.
So I would love to do something around that realm where I really enjoy going to work. It's not a dread for me.
Well, I better get the first signed copy.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for joining today, Brandon. It was so nice speaking
Of
to
course. Thanks
you.
for having
Of
me.
course. And next, we will have Kat and Michael speaking about their internships.
I'm Kat. I am the marketing communications intern, one of them, and I go to BW. I'm a rising senior this year, and we were here for the summer of 2024. Go ahead, Michael.
And I am Michael Knock. I'm the finance and accounting intern from McGregor, summer 2024 also. And I go to Fordham in New York.
Crazy. What brought you to McGregor?
So I started out as a finance major only, actually, and then took some accounting classes and liked it. But that was like two really big fields. So I'm a dual major, but trying to figure out like what I want to go into. And so looking for internships, McGregor looked like a great option, especially after interviewing with Lisa and Jen, to get a chance to try both finance and accounting in like a more business environment, real world situation, try to like discern what I liked more about each, and a totally new field too that I haven't like experienced at all in healthcare, working with a whole new industry. So that was a lot of different and new parts that looked really interesting for me. How about you?
Nice. I really got drawn to McGregor from the over-encompassing sort of 5 levels of care that we offer here. It's just I felt like people could start somewhere and then end up in the same place. They don't have to worry about transferring between like, oh, I was here for independent living, let me move to a new place, a new organization for assisted, and then a new place for nursing home, stuff like that. And I really liked that. And I also really liked that we offered PACE.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to learn about that and stuff like that. And it gave me an opportunity to go dive into social media marketing and stuff like that
Very
for a
cool.
new industry in a business professional setting.
Yeah. The PACE especially for me was interesting. I didn't know anything about it coming in. I just thought that McGregor was primarily like the campus with the different stages of care like you mentioned. But I've worked a lot in PACE this summer, probably primarily. And that's been like a whole new world that I didn't even know existed before coming here. That's been a cool experience for sure to learn about.
Yeah. What are your big projects? I heard PACE, but what else?
Yeah, so a lot of stuff in PACE. The one big one has been trying to automate some of our mail. So we still get physical mail for all of our PACE applicants and participants. And it ends up being like 1,000 pieces a month, or a little less than, I guess. And as we're expanding, it's just a lot to like physically open, sort every day. And so we're trying to use like optical character recognition is what they call it, to scan the documents using AI and then sort them. So it's not so much human manual labor, because we have specialists that need to be doing, renewals and verifying applicants. So there's other work for them to be doing. So trying to like streamline that process. And I've gotten to do a lot of accounting work, especially doing reconciling of accounts or account analysis for revenues. So as Lisa McCartney, who I work with a lot, she's the finance director. She likes to say we wear a lot of different hats, which has kind of been a nice part too of the summer, is like trying a lot of different things, learned a lot of different things within business, but also again about healthcare and how PACE works, for example. So that's been a cool experience. Yeah.
Well, that's real. I started with Katie. We were starting this podcast and going through all the equipment, and also revamping the social medias and stuff like that were some of my bigger projects. But I really, really like this podcast project so far. It's been really fun.
No, it's a cool idea. I do like the idea of having it a more permanent way to like remember the big events that are going on and document things that are going on. It's cool.
Yeah. And then what about future plans? What do you have in mind?
Yeah, so I'll be a junior this year at Fordham. So I'm actually looking already for some internships for next summer, looking to hopefully be in New York, but also looking at Cleveland as well for some opportunities. So yeah, a couple more years of school left. And then, again, still trying to figure out what I want to do like long-term career-wise. And I have liked the McGregor experience, especially because I do like the idea that there is a larger purpose to what you're doing and not just like a financial gain, which I think is a big part of what finance and accounting can become, especially in a place like New York where it's so primarily focused on profit. And so McGregor, like there is that larger purpose that you see because you see the participants, you see the people you're actually working for. And so that's been a really good experience to see that too. How about you?
That's fair. I am looking into going into the esports field. Actually, I'm moving out of like healthcare, but I think that it'll be really fun. I'm looking at getting my MBA, and eventually, I think maybe next year, because I'm a rising senior, so this is my last year for my bachelor's, and so just figuring out where I want to go for my master's. Like I've been talking to someone in North Dakota. It's crazy out of nowhere. But so I think that'll be really fun, and just finding an organization that represents who I think I want to be, and also doing my own content creation, and maybe one day owning my own podcast, stuff like that.
Very cool.
Well, thank you for tuning in with us. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you for joining Inside the Gray Area. We're here to answer all your questions and share some interesting insights. I'm Leanne O'Brien. We look forward to seeing you next time, and be sure to follow us on social media and our YouTube channel.